Mr. DeWitt!
Mr. DeWitt! Are you alright?
I'm fine.
You were dreaming. You kept saying your daughter's name, Sally.
She's not my daughter.
I thought...
Pain and beauty! To an artist, they are parent and child.
Cohen?
I'm sending you to find your young one. No need to thank me. I'm not so sure you'll like what you find.
Look.
Fontaine's. Ryan sent the whole thing to the bottom.
But it's a prison now. Why would Cohen have sent Sally there?
I don't know.
Everyone has needs. I merely provide a service for those who have the means to pay. You'll find your little bird in the housewares department.
How many people do you suppose Ryan's got locked up in that place?
Enough. Fontaine had amassed something near an army. Now they're down there, spliced up and wild. All right, there's a dock up ahead.
Takes a cold son of a bitch to do that to a living person.
No, what's that?
Burial at sea.
You read your residency contract with Ryan Industries? In perpetuity, we're all buried at sea.
Hey, that's the title. Hi everyone, welcome back to Autoplay. My name is Otto and this is Burial at Sea. In the last episode, we...
Seem to be some supplies this way, Mr. DeWitt.
It's Booker.
What?
Just call me Booker.
If it's all the same to you, let's leave it at Mr. DeWitt.
That's an interesting bit of dialogue from Elizabeth. As I was saying, in the last episode, we made our way to Cohen for information on Sally, and he electrocuted us while we was dancing in pretty lighting. And he sent us to where she is. The sunken prison of Fontaine's department store. You'll notice that...
Too comfortable. Keep your eyes open.
You'll notice that this area of the game from now on has more of a classic BioShock feel. You got like your gloomy, survival horror-ish feeling, water running everywhere. It's the end of the non-combat section, as you can guess, and now we're back into typical crabs! Typical BioShock fare. Oh look, we make splashes now. As I was saying a little bit in the last episode, I've definitely noticed that like the character models and animations and stuff in the DLC is a lot higher quality than that it was in the main game. And even things like this, like us having splashes for our walks. In the main game that doesn't happen ever. Like even though like the first opening level of Columbia is that like totally flooded church, we don't have that little detail. It's just interesting. And like I especially notice it with Elizabeth, who has like really like detailed eyes and stuff in this one. Like she definitely looks the best she's ever looked in this game. Closed by order of the council. So, in case if it wasn't clear, in Rapture, people who, like, overuse Atom and plasmids and that kind of stuff, they end up, like, losing their mind, they start to, like, become disfigured, and generally just kind of, like, go insane. And the people who have done this so much are called splicers. And since all of these people were locked down here, they're kind of just gone spliced to hell. So you'll see them a lot from now on. They also usually wear... In the original BioShock, they would always wear masks to kind of hide their disfigurements, because they try to hide it from themselves in a way, if that makes sense. And here, there aren't any, like, party masks, so they kind of use, like, boxes or pieces of ripped-off poster. So if you see, like, enemies wearing things that look kind of silly, like, that's why. It's to hide their disfigurements that they are feeling bad about. Ooh, this one is like a little art film kind of thing. Sander Cohen's The Black Dream. Yep, that sure was an art. Look at that crab. I think there actually might be another one on this side. Yep, the March Hare. I hope you guys are excited to be subjected to another one of Sander Cohen's masterpieces. But here we go. I actually kind of like those. Like, I don't think they're like good, but I like the idea, just like the unique use of the kinetoscope style thing, you know? Just like a developer clearly having some fun with it. So a lot of the radio announcements are kind of just like references and Easter eggs and allusions to the first BioShock. That's kind of why I haven't really been talking about them too much. Just letting them play in the background, because if we stopped every time that there was one, we'd get nothing done. But for those of you who do know BioShock, you'll probably catch a lot of little Easter eggs that way. No trespassing. Closed by order of the council.
Look up there. Let's have another look around. Perhaps we'll be able to find something to get us up and over.
I didn't mean to take that. Still getting a lot of empty things for some reason. Okay, so this thing, you'll obviously recognize that it's very Skyhook-like. So, one difference is that the idea behind this is that kids, like, make them themselves from, like, scavenged parts. So you'll see that, like, the body is a vacuum cleaner. I think there's some other parts. Originally, the DLC was actually going to make you have to construct the Skyhook yourself. So you would have to locate the vacuum cleaner to pull it apart and all that other stuff. But they ended up scrapping that. One thing that's funny about this, though, is that it obviously works exactly the same as the Skyhook. But if you recall, back in BioShock Infinite, it was like a big problem. Like, how do we explain the fact that it lets us jump so high? And they had to be like, well, it's magnetized or whatever, as this great solution. But obviously that's not going to be the case with this one that a bunch of, like, kids made from scavenged parts. So that whole struggle that they had just completely falls apart.
Could be handy.
Skyhook.
Skyhook? You mean the air grabber? Kids use them to ride around up on the pneumo lines.
Air grabber. Huh. Constants and variables.
Constants and what?
Never mind.
Like, watch, how are we going to get up here? Through the magic of a vacuum cleaner.
Goddamn grabber stuck.
I want the frosted one. Get me the frosted.
Mr. DeWitt, someone's coming.
Come back. I want the frosted. I want it.
All right, I got the grabber unjammed.
What's that now? Pay up!
So enemies are definitely harder in this
Mr.
DLC as
DeWitt.
well.
Look. Housewares. That's where Cohen said we'd find Sally. The store ran trams between the three buildings. We'll need to avail ourselves of that.
Assuming it still works.
Optimism, Mr. DeWitt. It helps in situations like this.
So the enemies are stronger. Health kits... Whoops. Health kits don't heal you as much. They're choices that they made to kind of give it back that BioShock 1 Rapture feel, basically. Just make things like a little bit more survival horror again. You do still have your shield and stuff, though, and Elizabeth does still help in combat.
When did you come to Rapture?
Oh, it was, geez, I guess around 51? No, 48?
That's a rather large gap.
Time. Life I had before. Sort of becomes a blur. 49. 49 for sure. Damn.
You look a mess, Mr. DeWitt.
Just keep your eyes open for splicers. They can do us a whole lot worse.
Here, little birdies. Eat it up. Well, it's good for you, you know. I've never heard of birds that didn't like seeds. What's the matter with you? Do you think it's poison? Yep. Let's keep everything in order, shall we?
They also added a new melee execution. If you approach an enemy from behind without being spotted, it gives you like an execution option.
Keep your
Not for that one though.
Glenda? Let you and me talk.
Hopefully I can show it. Girl, you're already dead. Well, you'll kind of see some scarification and stuff, right?
Oh, there's the tram.
That splicer had no problem freezing a path for himself before.
I'm sure he'll be happy to do the same for us.
I have no doubt you'll prove persuasive.
So you'll notice that they are
DeWitt, look.
kind of showcasing a new vigor in this, and it's Old Man Winter.
An ice rink.
Be good at places any to look for our new friend.
Says it's on the top floor.
So we go up.
It's called Old Man Winter. It's like basically a freezing type of vigor, and you can like use it to solve a little bit of environmental puzzles, that kind of stuff. It's kind of cool.
Ugh, how do you stand that? It smells revolting.
Girl, you don't know my limits. I'm a trash panda. I take everything. Let's check out our vending machines.
Welcome to the circus of value.
I don't want to spend on that.
Got a family to feed.
This one gives you vigor things, of course. So you got Winter's Boost, increases frozen state, adds an area effect to the projectile that can freeze multiple enemies. Bucking Bronco. Enemies under the Bucking Bronco effect drift toward each other. That's actually one thing I like about the DLC, is that it adds different styles to the upgrades. Like, it's not just the same ones from the main game. I mean, that one is, but... Causes missed attacks to ricochet in the direction fired and possibly hit a target. See, that's kind of cool. We'll hold off for now, though.
Another burst pipe.
The store sunk a few hundred feet beyond its specifications. More pressure, more burst pipes.
So yeah, so we can't get past here until we get Old Man Winter. So let's head that way. So I've talked before about how I don't like playing BioShock, the original. It just like feels too oppressive, too like horror-ish, and it just feels like I'm enduring it. But luckily I kind of find that the Burial at Sea DLC feels like a nice medium between it and BioShock Infinite. Like, it feels a lot more enjoyable to play while also still, like, having some of that tension.
Damn thing's locked.
It's a good balance, I think. For me, anyway.
Matters progress so little. I could turn this with a rake pick. Done.
Where'd you learn that?
Oh, it's something I picked up a long time ago.
Our frozen friend leaves a hell of a trail.
What is the greatest lie ever created? What is the most vicious obscenity ever perpetrated on mankind?
I suppose we both got a right to happiness.
See me again if I say his name 4 times.
No. The fool with all that we...
Just let me in, okay?
Slicers.
Fontaine, he said we're all equal down here now, all in the same boat. I just want a taste of some high-class food.
Splicers. I don't think they see us. If you keep quiet, maybe you can get the drop on them. Even the odds.
Sorry, this one looked at me. Oh, there you go.
Swore I checked that!
Get up. Get up.
Thanks.
You want to thank me? Next time, try ducking.
So I'm actually glad we died, because I did want to show that. That was one thing that I didn't even know was in there until I played it on, like, another playthrough. But it's just such a nice contrast to the way that Elizabeth reacts when you die in the main game, if you remember. Like, she's, like, super worried for you, and she, like, wants to save you, and, like, here, she's just, like, has no bullshit for you. It's a little, you know, thing to take note of. And she actually has 3 different dialogues for when you die, whereas in the other one, you only have 1. I think that's because they knew that this one was going to be a bit more difficult, so people would die more often.
Oh, don't think I raised you better than this.
I hear someone. I don't see them, though. I also like the new combat music.
I'm busy. I'm busy. I don't want you here.
Nice. That takes care of that pretty good.
Look at that.
What are you looking at, girl?
Mr. DeWitt.
Oh,
A
lockpick.
lockpick. Grab it.
Fort Dundee, Fort Dundee, Fort Dundee. I have no clue what that's referencing, if I'm being honest. So yeah, we also have new gear in the DLC as well. Filthy Leech. Using a plasmid to kill an enemy restores some Eve. That's good. We'll equip it. I think that's it for this little section.
She told me to stop calling, so I did. Now I just hang around outside the place. I am not.
Splicers are noticing us a lot more than they usually do.
Ryan, you bastard. Left me here to rot. Sure, I signed the contract. Helped turn Fontaine into a prison. 10 days, big rush, everything slapdash, right before the prisoners are brought in. One of your piece of shit turrets. Bam! Both kneecaps. Now I'm likely a cripple locked in a jail, surrounded by maniacs. Haven't even been paid, but I don't care. Just get me out of here!
That guy has a little storyline throughout the
Your imperfections
part.
will gang up on you in a crisis. They must be excised, like tumorous growth, before it's too late.
We have just not enough.
Paper. Spying on me again.
Where is the dude?
I said no autographs.
One of the splicers is like a failed musician or something like that. Wants to be like a superstar. That's like the thing that's different about the enemies in this one is they have like...
Always knew I'd be a star.
I have no ammo. Thank you.
That's all I've got.
Smart thinking, jumping up there. That's another thing you'll notice is that ammo is a lot more scarce in this. And Eve and all of that. Like, it definitely has that survival aspect. Anyway, as I was saying, splicers in Rapture, they kind of have like these different like archetypes that they have. So like you'll hear they're talking to themselves and they'll have, it like shows their personality a bit. So like you'll pick up on some common themes, like there's the musician, superstar wannabe, there's like a mom who is like obsessed with germs and like keeping her kid clean and stuff like that. It's just an interesting take on it, kind of.
Look up there.
1 second. Skyhook. Sorry, I mean air grabber hook. Like, look at that. Like, we have 0 ammo. And 0 salts. Like, my only option is to punch people. And she's not coming with us. God, there's so many people. Please just kill each other and not me. Oh, she came anyway. That's good. I was worried we'd be alone. Okay, let's see if I can sneak up on this dude.
You can't judge a man only by his bookings. Character's gotta come into account.
Maybe it's a failed actor. I don't know.
Say, what's all this talk about cigarettes being bad for you?
If the government had its way, we'd all be scared of our own shadow.
So yeah, you can see he has like a cutout of the vending machine for a mask. Weapon damage increases while the player is aiming using sights and after each successful kill. So that's kind of a combination of 2 of the old ones. I guess I could try using sights more. The skull? Oh, it's a mannequin. Ooh, we could skyline strike them.
Go on without me.
You can skyline strike that? That sounds like a terrible idea. Actually, it's all terrible, because we don't have ammo, and we don't have Eve. No! There we go.
That's all I have right now.
Thank goodness. It's definitely a more stressful playing it. Because, like, if you'll remember in BioShock Infinite, like, I had, like, no issues just, like, cleaving through people after a certain point in the game. Like, it's not challenging at all, even on, like, a moderate difficulty. But here, I'm on medium difficulty again, and, like, well, it hasn't been hard. You definitely have to think a bit more than you would before, which is kind of nice. Okay. What was all that trouble worth? Ooh. Audio diary.
Of my first play, the Herald said, "A dead whale has washed up at the Schubert Theater and stinks a little more with each passing night." The Tribune called my first opera as having the effect of canceling out all of Mozart's classics in a single caterwaul. And now, critics take me to task for my humanitarian work. If I were not there to find a home for these orphans, would these bellyachers take my place? An artist once said, "All critics should be assassinated." I just might take him up on that.
Ticket Puncher. Melee strikes reach 3 times as far and do double damage, but also consume 20% of your shield. We are not doing that one. We're barely hanging on as it is. Alright, okay, Elizabeth, you're in my way a little bit. I believe new enemies spawn. Yeah.
Keep my eyes open for more.
I could lose my job!
Ugh. Crap.
What's happened to these people? They don't even seem sane.
Nothing beats your first splice. From there, it's all downhill. The frozen frosties, the jockeys who will hand you 1,000 volts as soon as look at you.
You sound sympathetic.
They wouldn't be the first sons of bitches who found an answer at the bottom of a bottle. But once you see them go all weak at the knees at the sight of a little sister and all her atom, they cut a less sympathetic figure.
All that ammo that we picked up, and it's only 7 bullets in an automatic firing thing. Ugh, so rough.
My daddy is a special daddy. He's sending me to Little Wonders, a place where every girl is a princess. Is your daddy special? Not exactly make you a little wonder, is it?
Strange. She usually has dialogue here, so that's what I was kind of waiting for. I'm sure it'll be triggered again later. Anyways, that's actually a good place to end it for today. Next time we will continue on to the top floor of the department store in our attempt to find some Old Man Winter. See you guys then.
1887.
That's a lot of fine talk about a stolen ring.
I beg your pardon?
Right out of her coffin in Twilight Fields. Did you think we wouldn't notice?
I can assure you that...
The assurances of a grave robber are of no interest to me. If you hand the ring back, the matter will remain between you and me.
You come into my shop and talk this trash? I don't think so. Hit the bricks, you tramp, or I'll see to it they hit you.
Get your hands off me! Might be best if we were gone when he wakes up.